What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew? This is Ball Hawk Ifata Melifonum of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us today. Lions Talk Live. Hey, it's Friday. It is Victory Friday. The Lions found a way to win. The Chicago Bears, kind of do what the Chicago Bears do apparently late in games. They find a way to lose. Whatever you want to say, here's what we can say. 11-1, undefeated in the NFC North. And yes, you've completed the first half of the gauntlet in the NFC North. We're going to start that second half of the gauntlet just next week. And yes, as you can tell from the thumbnail for this for this show, it's maybe not all good news for the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are going to have to overcome a lot of adversity probably these last, 6 weeks or 5 weeks or whatever it is of the regular season. They've got some adversity to overcome. They've got some injuries to overcome, and we're going to dive into that during the main topic of the day. All right, before we get into all that, though, if you would be so kind, though, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We are trying to get this show to 11,100 subscribers, and we're about, we'll say, 15 away. If you would be so kind, reach on down. It is free of charge. Hit the like button, the thumbs up button. We try to get every video to 200, 300 or more thumbs up or likes, as it does help the channel grow. Last but never least, if you're considering looking for property in the upcoming year, maybe give me a call or shoot me a text. You now see my number on your screen, 269-998-2384. It can be commercial property. It can be vacant land, a new house, a first-time house, whatever it may be. Give me a call, shoot me a text. As you probably know, I've been in the industry for over 30 years, so let me use some of that experience to save you some time, save you some money, make the process a whole lot easier. All right, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get the show over to the first segment of the day. And as you probably know, that is 5 headlines down. All right, 5 headlines down, and we've, I think, got some good ones to talk about here today. Let's kick it off. Jared Goff sounds off on Jameson Williams' mistake versus Bear. Clutch points. Story by Jed Pegrin. So what we can say is we all watched it happen. He flipped the ball. Obviously, the Chicago Bears player had said something to him. He responded. Has to learn from it, flip the ball. But according to Dan Campbell, Jared Goff, amongst others, Jameson Williams confronted the issue head-on before anybody else had to talk to him about it. Came on and talked to everybody during the locker room and on the sidelines during the game. Understood he made a mistake. Said he would never let it happen again. A learning opportunity for him. It sounds like the team has put it behind him, and it sounds like Williams has grown from it. Goff does go on to talk to reporters about it. And, I'm not to quote everything he said, just said, hey, Jameson Williams knows where he's at with it. The team understood. It was a heated moment, but he's also got to learn to kind of never do it again. So we'll see if that shakes out. And hopefully for Jameson Williams, it's one and done with him in regards to that and move on from that. All right, 6 winners, 3 losers from Thanksgiving Day win over the Bears. This is from SB Nation, story by Jeremy Risman. So let's see what old Risman has to say. As you know, he's covered the Lions for a long time. Winner, DJ Reader. Probably not a big surprise. Anytime you get, who would have ever guessed that he had so many sacks in one game? But he did. He had a monster performance yesterday and much needed. Let's be honest. The Lions are incredibly thin on the defensive side of the ball. They've got backups, the backups to the backups playing at most spots, and yet they still went out there and found a way to get it done. Reader signed this offseason to bolster their run defense to an even higher level, and he's done a good job with that, especially as of late. but he has come on as a pass rusher too. In the last 2 games, he has 5 quarterbacks hits, including 3 against the Bears, 2 of which turned into sacks. For this season, he now has a career-high 3 sacks and 8 quarterback hits, the second most in his illustrious career. So let it be sinking in. DJ Reader might not be as one-dimensional as we once thought he would be. Alquin Muhammad is also a winner. Sticking to the defensive line when Josh Pascal went down, he stepped up. Looked like bad news. Sorry, I had to sneeze there. It looked like it was going to be really bad news early in the game for Josh Pascal, Detroit Lions, everybody involved, because we get it. Pascal is a backup to 2 defensive ends who are no longer available for potentially the rest of the season. Then he went down. Then Levi Onwuzurike went down. Alquin Muhammad came on in, but you know what? He had a pretty good start to his game and continued to play at a high level throughout the rest of the game. So kudos to him. They're probably going to be relying on him a lot the next few weeks. Losers, linebacker depth. We get it. Derek Barnes is out potentially for the season. Alex Anzalone, probably at least until late in the season. Jalen Reeves-Maben, probably until late in the season. And now you got Malcolm Rodriguez, who sounds like he's going to be out for a little bit of time. Nothing official yet, but Dan Campbell did say that could be, quote, Rodrigo is the one injury that could be the worst, Campbell said. And I don't know how significant it will be just yet, but it will be one I fear could be for a little bit. He could be down. So end quote for Dan Campbell. So Rodrigo gave you some flexibility. Rodrigo gave you some athleticism to get from sideline to sideline. But we also probably all understand he's going to be down for a minute. Winner, Za'Darius Smith. Hey, why did you get this guy? I think you saw it yesterday. And yes, he cramped up a lot late in the fourth quarter. I get it. He'd been out there almost the entire game. Your body's used to being a rotational player. You're almost having to be an all-time player at that point because there's just nobody else to bring in. But he came in with perhaps the biggest sack of the afternoon, with the one that ultimately led to perhaps probably Matt Eberflus is counting his hours until he's no longer a coach for the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears aren't going to make the playoffs now. It's too bad because they really could be a playoff team. But these last 5 or 6 weeks, it probably done in his time in Chicago, and probably why they'll be looking for a new coach. Za'Darius Smith, though, why did we get him? Now we know, and you know what? He's going to be a big contributor down the stretch here as Lions push for that number 1 seed. Oh, winner. Lions running game. Hey, they came through big on most plays throughout the entire day, especially in that first half. We talked about it when I got back on air and such after the game. But the Lions, I think Ben Johnson, yesterday we mentioned in the postgame show, I think about halfway through the second quarter, you could see the Bears defense figured out something he didn't have an answer for. He's going to have to come up with that answer and in short order, because you're going to see everybody in the next several weeks try to replicate that. Whether or not they have the personnel to pull it off, that I don't know. But they're going to come after you. They're going to come after Goff. They're going to try to crowd that line. You're going to have some kill shots available to you. But until you figure out how to stop what the Bears have now for the second straight year exposed you with, you know what? You're gonna have to come up with some answers there, Ben Johnson. Losers, mistakes from Gibbs and Williams. I'd say we'd all agree with that. You know, right before halftime, Lions get the ball. They've got 16 points. Bears got nothing. It looks like the Bears are going to be down 23-0 at the half. Why? Gibbs gets a perfectly called screen pass. Because he's going to get down to at least about the 3, maybe 5 yard line, somewhere in that range. Takes a big hit. It would have given the Lions a first down if he just goes to the ground. Instead, that big hit, he coughs it on up. The Bears recover it, and you know what? You take points off the board. Even though the Bears didn't get anything out of it, the fact that you could have pushed it to at least 19-0 or hopefully 23-0. I think if you would have got the 23-0, that would have been the ball game. And then, yes, when the Lions trying to move into scoring position, try to do something later in the game, as we all know, Jameson Williams, since we just talked about it, gets flagged and tossing the ball at a Bears player. Probably not the best move, but both of them are going to have to learn to do better. Winner, Dan Skipper. A lot of concern in the last few weeks with Taylor Decker out and Skipper coming in. But for the most part, I'll ask you guys in the Duke crew, did anybody really notice that Skipper was out there versus Decker? There was a couple times for sure, but I think for the most part, Dan Skipper held his own and really was an unnoticeable factor. He did okay, good enough to fill in. We'll see what goes from there. Winner, Penei Sewell's eye discipline. We're all robbed of the opportunity to see Penei Sewell throw his first ball in a real football game because the Bears defense perfectly defended Detroit's attempt to try a trick play. But kudos to Sewell for resisting the temptation to go ahead and try to throw his first touchdown pass for just a completion one way or the other. Penei Sewell, we all get it. He is a generational athlete, not just offensive lineman, but what he does, what he could do at any position. He's pretty dang awesome. The Lions are fortunate to have him, and thankfully he did not put that one in the air. All right, moving on to the next one. Lions deserve more credit for surviving Thanksgiving onslaught from Bears and refs. Story by Mark Powell of Fanside. And yes, indeed, the Lions found a way to win. When normally, if you've been a Lions fan for any kind of length of time, they would have found a way to lose that game without question. The Bears would have done something, would have won the game in a laugher, and everybody would have been pouring, water on their gravy, whatever you want to say. It would have been a bad Thanksgiving for Lions fans. But how is this team different? You find a way to win. You find a way to win instead of lose. And this isn't the only game this season they've done it. Think about the Minnesota game, the Houston Texans game. Anybody who's played sports, coached sports, watched sports, whatever, probably gets it. They're not all going to be blowouts. They're not all going to be masterpiece performances, chef's kisses, or whatever. Sometimes you got to kiss. You got to just get an ugly win. And that's what the Lions did yesterday. They did enough, despite all the injuries and everything else, to say, hey, what? We're going to get this win no matter what. And you know what? I think the Lions deserve a lot of credit for it. I've mentioned it already this show. I mentioned the post-game show yesterday. I was not a fan of that 14 PI call on the refs. I even thought about doing a video last night on it. Because when you go back and watch it on the coaching film, the PI, if it's even there, is so minute. And it is literally 15 to 20 yards away from where the pass even lands. There's no way he's getting to that pass. There's incidental contact. There's contact from the defensive player. There's contact from the offensive player. It's not one-sided, and that's what the big problem I had with it. All right, injury updates on Malcolm Rodriguez, Josh Pascal, Levi Onwuzurike, Mike Morales, the Sporting News with this one. Rodrigo, it sounds like it's a knee, and it sounds like it could potentially be one where he's out for a while. Josh Pascal, also a knee. Levi Onwuzurike, it sounds like it's a hamstring, so could it be that he's back in a week or two? Probably. I would say probably by the Buffalo Bills game. You should expect Onwuzurike to be back by then. Pascal, he was standing on the sideline, fully in uniform. I'm anticipating he won't be out that long, maybe be back for the Buffalo Bills game. Rodrigo's probably the one I don't have a great answer for you. All right, in the last of the 5 headlines now, Detroit Lions set franchise record after beating Bears on Thanksgiving. Let's go ahead and pull this one up on the screen a little bit, just because it's got some graphics. I was going to try to get the graphics loaded for you guys this morning, but I couldn't get it loaded in time, so moving on to the next one. All right, so we'll just do this, put it on the screen. I'm putting it on the screen literally in front of you guys. All right, Lions. Let's see, 11-1, their best start to a season in franchise history. No mistake about it. If you are a Lions fan as long as I've been, so since the 70s, you've never seen anything like this out of the Detroit Lions. And yes, you got to take time to embrace it. You got to love it. And the fact that it wasn't perfect, but it's still a win. And at the end of the day, if you win by 1 or if you win by 1,000, it's still a win. You don't get any kind of points for it being pretty or not pretty. Let's see, 10 straight wins, ties single-season record for the Detroit Lions. And correct with that, they've one other time in 1934 have done this before. So, and I think that's it for the record. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and take that off the screen. All right, we do have Kurt Steele joining us at the bottom hour. So let's get over real quick to the main topic of the day. All right, main topic of the day. Detroit Lions have got backups out there. We're all going to talk about, hey, the Lions shouldn't have done this. They shouldn't have done that. It shouldn't have been a close game. You know what? Both sides, both teams get opportunities to play, and both teams take credit in what they're doing. What I'm going to say this right now is I don't know how many more injuries this team can survive on the defensive side of the ball. We all get it. Let's go through the laundry list. Ife Melifonwu, out. And who knows when he's coming back. Emmanuel Mosley, everybody wanted to know why he was out yesterday. Sounds like something in pregame warmups happened. And Dan Campbell wasn't very descriptive with it, so we'll just leave it at that. Hopefully he's good to go next week. Let's see. Davenport's out. Hutchinson's out. Let's see. Barnes is out. I mean, you get it. There are so many people out, and now potentially 3 more people out. Man, oh man. Think about this. The Bears for the second half, man, you can probably even say through the second quarter. So for 3 quarters of the game, had their first string offense out there against our third or fourth string players on defense. Hey, we know Carlton Davis was out. Did they take advantage of Kendall Vildor? Yes, but it wasn't as bad as last week. And I know people are going to want to jump on that PI on 4th and 14. You know what? I'd say move off that one because, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, that was a BS call. It was a terrible call by the officials. The game really should have been over there, in my opinion. And for what we were having to do on defense with the backup to the backup to the backup guys, the fact that we found a way to win this game, give credit to Aaron Glenn, give credit to all involved. It wasn't a pretty game, but you look through how many players are now down and out, maybe for the season, maybe not for the season. Alex Anzalone is a person I didn't even put in that list, and I just rattled off, gosh, how many guys? 10, 15? That's not even including, what's his name? Injured in training camp, John Kaminsky. I mean, how many injuries can a team really survive and keep winning? So we can all be naysayers about, man, the Lions let it be a close game. The refs did this, the Jameson Williams did that, whatever it may be. But think about this. If this is any other team out there in the National Football League with so many injuries on one side of the ball, would they still win? I don't think so. Look at the San Francisco 49ers, and they're struggling just to get a win here and there, and they don't have nearly the amount of injuries that we have, not on one side of the ball. The defense has been completely decimated, and yet it went, 12 straight quarters without allowing a touchdown. Let that sink in. You've got so many dudes out, and you're still performing well. Now, yes, the Chicago Bears caught a little fire. They got some momentum. The defense for us was out there way too long because the offense in the second quarter on didn't do a whole lot. So you kept putting those backups out there more and more, and those backups found a way to get victories. My question to you guys today is, who's going to fill in for Levi Onwuzurike, for Josh Pascal, because they're probably out for a while? Who's going to fill in for Malcolm Rodriguez? Because you're already having Long Jr. fill in for 2 other linebackers. So who now steps up and takes that role? There is no James Houston. He's gone. So he's gone to Cleveland, and he's probably saying something like, you probably wish you had me now. And he's probably right. Right now, the Detroit Lions probably wish he still wore their uniform and not somebody else's. But, all right, we're going to make this quick here and get on over to you guys because, like I said, we've got Kurt Steele at the bottom of the hour, so we got 13 minutes. Let's go over to the Duke Crew and see what you guys have to say. Well, I'm just going to say this. The fact you're 11-1 with nearly 20 players on the IR, or at least in some capacity limited or not available to play, that needs to say just how good of a season this is for the Detroit Lions, how magical, and what a great job the coaching staff is doing. Michael D., greetings and salutations, coaching crew, exclamation points, Superdome, Super Bowl, what pride, woo, woo, and I'll go with that. Good morning to you, too. JDC, morning, all back at you. JDC, Chicago Eberflus toilet is broken. The company is having a hissy fit. Stay tuned to Coach Dan Lions Talk Live for more updates. Go Lions. Yeah, I'll, if he gets fired, good for him. I mean, I don't want to say good for him. I don't ever want to see a coach get fired, but he's put himself in his own situation. You go back and watch the coaching tape or just the highlights, I guess, to be fair, when Zadarius Smith gets that sack with whatever it was, 33, 34 seconds left, the fact that they didn't call a timeout then or do a hurry up to get to the huddle, it's just, you can't blame a rookie quarterback for not doing it. Somebody's got to be in control. How about the offensive coordinator do something? It wasn't just one person in Chicago that fell asleep. It was everybody. You can't blame the Lions for having their 5th string defense out there, and they still won it against you. All right, let's see, Robert, greetings and salutations. Boy, the second half of that game made me forget how good the first half of the game was. It was over when it was not over. Where's the flag? I'm sure it's not over. 100% with that. Robert, how confident do you feel about playing the Packers? Hey, you got to feel confident. You can't go into a game, be an athlete or coach feeling unconfident. So the good thing is you got a week or so, roughly a week to get ready. Robert, is anybody on our team not injured? No. At this point in the season, whether you're Green Bay, Chicago, or the 49ers, or whoever else you want to list, everybody's beat up. Jason, what's up, everyone? Question mark. Why does it not feel as good as other victories? Question mark. Nevertheless, Superdome or bust. Hey, you're 100% right. There's a little bit of a bad taste because you know what? We're Lions fans. We are so ingrained with the idea that the rug is going to get pulled out from us at any point. In the preseason, when we were all talking, we all said the same thing universally. I would say at least 99% of us. Nobody's getting to the NFC North undefeated. But yet the Detroit Lions right now are still undefeated. I don't know what's going to happen next Thursday. I'm just grateful that we have 7 days off to prepare, to rest, to heal, to find some bodies to put on the field, if nothing else. And then we have 10 days before we play the Buffalo Bills. Robert, thank goodness Jason put up the tree of destiny before the game. That might have been the winning factor right there. Big Eddie, greetings, salutations. Next man up, just find a way to hold the line. That's what they're going to have to do. Yeah, I think you're going to be able to get by with Zadarius Smith as one of your starters at defensive end. Who knows on the other side? I guess maybe Muhammad. At this point, I don't know who you're going to put in there. The interior defensive line seems like it's still pretty strong. Maybe Carlton Davis comes back. Maybe if not, then Emmanuel Mosley's able to go. So the secondary should be, stable at least. The linebacker is probably the next big question because Long Jr. seems to give you some nice play there. But let's be honest, there's a reason why he was a free agent. He's not what some other people are. He's not a Malcolm Rodriguez. He's, maybe not a Derek Barnes, but he's probably going to help out. Who will be the next person in there? I don't know. Neiman has seemingly fallen off a little bit. Nowaski seemed to reemerge a little bit yesterday. Those two seem to be up 1 week, down 1 week. Frank Dink, good morning, Duke Crew, East Side. Woo, woo, go Lions, back at you. JDC, 'twas a nail biter. It was. You know what? We were biting painted nails. How about that? Detroit Mac, good morning, Duke Crew, 11-1, feels amazing. Woo! Exclamation points. I've been saying just stay healthy. It's to the point now where we might need the water boy to play out there on the defensive line. I agree, man. I mean, you do your own depth charts, do your own opinions on it, but the fact that the Lions are still winning, and not just yesterday, let's be honest, it's been for weeks now, winning with all these injuries. When Aiden Hutchinson went down, what's it been, 6 weeks ago? There were a lot of people thought, man, this might be the chink in the armor that really breaks your back, whatever analogy you want to use to start getting us to downward trend. But you know what? That hasn't been the case. We've still found a way to win, even though you've gone through, and I'm not going to go through the list of every guy who's injured. It's just, we'd be here for 2 hours talking about every guy. But the fact that they're still doing it, Matt, you're right, man. It's a credit to this team. Clark, 11-1 is all I'm worried about. I think we need to win 3 or 4 more games to have that number 1 seed. I think you're spot on. Where the wins come from, I'll let you guys debate. But can you beat the Green Bay Packers? Yes. Can you lose to them? Also, yes. Could you beat the San Francisco 49ers? I'd say so. How about the Minnesota Vikings? That's probably yes. You're going to get the Chicago Bears again. There's probably no gimme games away the rest of the way, but there are winnable games. You get 3 more wins to where you have a 14-win season. I think there's a strong possibility you do have the number 1 seed at that point. Frank Tink, this team is injured bad if you do not respect this team and what they are doing on the defensive side of the ball. You're crazy. Next man up, I'm telling you, it's what's in been the chest of heart. Yes, of all heart. I'll go with that. Trey, what's good, everyone? Question mark. When they called the PI on that 4th and 14, I was about to lose it. Thankfully, we still won. Yeah, it's just, I'm not sure what they were looking at. I mean, every game, let's be honest, there were calls that went for us. There were calls that went against us that game. And Chicago's having the same complaints. Man, they didn't call this. Oh, they got away with that. It's just, I think that particular call is highlighted because if you don't make that call, the game's over. And the fact there was so little contact there, I was like, eesh, not a good look. Not a good look. JDC Magic 8 Ball says, refuse to lose. I like that one, man. Frank Tink, people talk about being board games aren't interesting. We need to just need to enjoy this because it's never happened before. NFL gods, I try to take our great defense away. Next man up, all grit, go Lions. No, you're 100% right, man. The fact that this defense is still performing the way they are, that's a credit to a lot of people involved. And I won't just point out one side or the other side, but I'll say this, that secondary is probably a big reason why it's still performing well. Tori, it's incredible how well we are still performing on defense, even though we only have a few starters remaining. No, you're not wrong. Trumps, woo! All right, I'll go with that. Frank, Tank, you all need to remember this is a team game. It's not a one-man game like basketball. Correct. I'll go with that. Jess, greetings, salutations. How does Eberflus still have a job? That's a burning question in a lot of minds, probably especially with Chicago Bears fans today. Lions Talk Live fan, good thing we still have time to heal, 100%. having 7 days right now would be great. It is great. Trumps, what's up with the no call delay of game? I'm sure I can call down for your ejection, but can't call a delay of game on one of the most critical points of the game. There were a few times yesterday, to be fair, I want to say like 3 or 4, where that clock gets to 0 on the play clock for Chicago Bears, and then it seemed like it went another 2 seconds. I was surprised they didn't get flagged at all on any of those. Frank, time to heal. We have to play in a 7 or 6 days. Yeah, I'm down with that. France, sometimes you've got to be a little lucky over the course of a season. Yesterday, we got a little lucky, but we played well. I would agree. There's some things we could do better, absolutely, without question. But there's also some things we made happen. Good morning, Duke Crew. One Pride, back at you. At time, says France. All right, JDC. The big block, Detroit Lions V8 was misfiring on cylinders 2 and 6. They'll get it fixed. I'm hoping so. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. As a team, you make your own luck. We played and found a way. We did indeed. Jason, in terms of injuries, we do have it worse than our main NFC competitors: Eagles, Green Bay, Minnesota, Washington. Yeah, I would say 1,000% with that. Drums, we dominated them. Luck and refs kept it close. I'd say you're spot on with that. There's so many little things that came into play just to keep us at bay. In the first half we can go through the fumble, obviously, the missed field goal, just a lot of different stuff. So with all those factors and all those injuries, Chicago still couldn't beat us. All right, Frank Tank, that just goes to show that you got the NFL. All they care about is money. Do not care about the players. They're not given enough time. There's been a lot of talk about that for a while. The fact that you got guys playing on basically 3 days rest. And I get, Thanksgiving Day, hey, look, it's been around 100 years, so is what it is. But the other part of it is with all the Thursday night games and now you got Friday games, it's the physical toll on a lot of these bodies. There's just no way around it. You're going to see guys get hurt because of it and probably lose portions of their career. See, JDC, Hoobastank without a fight. Okay. Frank, to heal, this is a violent game. It's not soccer. Correct. Susan Scott, good morning. Trump's genius. I agree. We have a lot of things go against us in order for it to even be a game. Correct with that. Correct. See, Jason, the harder you work, the luckier you get. I like that one. Baba, it is a good day to be a Lions fan. Every day, especially this year, is a great day to be a Lions fan. Art, we will most likely face the Packers in the playoffs. I can't get January 8th, 94 out of my mind. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Maybe it's a revenge opportunity for that one. Frank the Tank, I'll give a shout out to Detroit Lions coaching staff, man. I would love to play for these men 100%. Yeah, I think that's why we were finding so much success there. Trumps, good morning, Susan. How are you today? Snowing my place, first time to fall. Yeah, I let the dogs out this morning, the boys, and yeah, I could see we got a wee bit of snow today. Lions Talk Live fam, Vegas would have lost billions if Detroit covered. They did lose because I see what you're saying with Detroit covering. Yes, maybe that could be a part of it. Quentin, greatest citations. Bears things so good for them. Sorry for your luck. 100% with that. JDC getting real in the D. Go Lions. Frank Tank, Dan the man with the master plan. Go Lions. Woo, woo, woo. Back at you, Tank. JDC, Frank the Tank. Yep, thumbs up. So that defense needs a lot of credit. Offense was limited for most of the second half. Really was a tale of two halves. You're not wrong. It really was. JDC, Buddy Love and the Cheddars. I agree. Flathead Frank, Reader wasn't a football player yesterday. He was a warrior and gave everything he had, reaching down deep and leading the D to the win, just like Sewell does for the defense, offense. It doesn't matter how we won. No, at the end of the day, it doesn't. Just win, baby. And you're right about Reader. Trump's called J.J. Watt now. Man, I would probably be leading the charge, flying over to his house, seeing if we get Peggy Watt to join him. Whoever you got to get, man, get him out there because right now the Lions need him. Miles Margaret, greetings, salutations, coach and crew. TOD bought a boss an unexpected ending, but Lions 11-1. The Tree of Destiny may have played a contributing factor. Voltron Force, good morning all. Same to you. Miles Margaret, over 14 inches of snow here and still falling. Okay. Jessica, let's see. Greetings, salutations, Duke Crew, exclamation point. Happy victory and making history Monday, everybody. Exclamation points. Have a wonderful day. Woo! And same with you, Jesse. Hopefully you have a great day. David Bing, give the Bears credit for stopping our offense. Give our backups to the backups on defense credit for winning it. No, I think that's a good take. Good morning, Miles Parker. How was your turkey day? We'll find out. Big Daz, good victory Friday. Dan the Duke Crew, soaring for some of our players. They're dropping like flies. Yes, they are. Trump's J.J. Watt had 12 and a half sacks in 2022. Call the man, open the wallet. I would be okay with that. All right, guys, it's about that time of the show. Let's go ahead and reach on over to our special guest of the day. You know him, you love him. He is the host of the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. He is Kurt Steele. How you doing today?
What up, dude? What's going on, everybody?
It is a Victory Friday. It is a much-needed day of rest. But let me start off by asking you this. The Lions have 4th and 5th stringers out there in some spots. How concerned are you about this Lions defense?
Man, I am, but I'm not. What do you call that? Like, I believe in the coaching staff. I believe what they're doing. And it shows like how they coach these guys. They coach them like there's one standard. It doesn't matter who's in the game. It's one standard, and you play to that standard.
So let's assume, and I don't know if you're watching earlier in the show or not, but let's assume Rodrigo misses probably a couple of games, maybe a Pascal, maybe Levi Onwuzurike miss a game, maybe 2. Who do you think fills in for them? Because right now, I mean, that bench is pretty depleted at linebacker and defensive end.
You got Ezekiel Turner that was in there, and you got David Long, a former team captain and starter in Miami. So I mean, you have some good depth pieces. They're gonna hold the line until Anzalone and Germ can get back here short. Hopefully, we can get them back in the next few weeks. So, that defense of the linebacker core, you still got Captain Jack, still got Neiman, you still got Nowatzki. So, all right. So let me get to the chat because they're irritating the shit out of me, and I'm already irritated. Yes, I'm gonna tell you. Yes, I'm gonna tell you leave J-Mo alone. Now, I called J-Mo out today on my show because the penalty was at a point where it stalled the drive. However, I called him out because it was at a bad time.
Okay.
However, the guy did trip him on the sideline and push him down. So but they didn't catch that flag, but they flagged him. Of course, it always is the second guy gets flagged. All right. But you're not calling out Jamin when he's out there last week giving out turkeys to families in need, signing autographs into the wee hours of the evening with Kirby Joseph after the other game, doing work in the community. Like, I get it. The kid's young. He's gonna make mistakes. He's young. He comes from an environment that he's gonna have to learn how to grow up because the environment he comes from is different than yours. He wasn't taught to be a Boy Scout.
I get you, man.
So
I get you, man.
Here's my thing. Put yourself, if you came from where he came from, you put yourself in that position. I get it. And the kid stood up and he took accountability for what he did and apologized to the whole team unsolicited. He apologized to the whole team. They Dan Campbell and Antoine Wendell sat him down for the rest of the game after the incident happened. If Dan Campbell can move on and the team and teammates can move on, us fans should be able to move on.
Right. No, I agree with you. I think you got to trust in the coaching staff. I mean, they know him intimately better than any of us. I mean, they talk to him on a daily basis. They watch him, like you said. They know about everything he does and doesn't do. He's got some learning to do. But you could also use Keenan Allen as an example. Keenan Allen, I think, is a pretty good human being. He's also somebody who's been in the league for a gajillion years, and yet he lost his self for a moment, I guess you could say. So, I
mean, here's my thing. But if you can walk through your life, and tell me, say you've never made a mistake in your life,
right?
Then you can throw your stones,
right? I get it, man. I get it.
But my thing is, and like I said, you watch my show today. I called him out. Because it was stupid and it was immature. But I'm not going to dwell on it.
Right.
Here's my thing. There is an underlying issue for some people with JMO, and I'm gonna leave it at that. So let's move on. I won't discuss it anymore. You watch the show today. I called J-Mo out. I did. I called him out because I can't praise him when he's doing good and not call him out when he's doing something stupid.
That's fair. That's fair, man.
But
so let's
don't get on me for having an opinion about something and having empathy and giving someone grace, because most people need grace. If you came from where he came from, and trust me, I know the area he came from in St. Louis. Look at his recruiting story. They were shooting while the Ohio State was there right outside of his house, and it was just like a normal day for him. He doesn't come from the best environment. Yeah. Right. So you can't sit here and judge someone based off your background, not his. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, let's go.
All right. So let's talk real quick about the Lions offense. First quarter looks like, man, they might run away with this game. They might put up a 50 burger. But then late in the first quarter, maybe early in the second quarter, the Bears did something on defense that caused Ben Johnson a lot of headaches. And not just him. You could say you got to put Goff in there too. They tried to figure some things out. You could see some alterations at halftime. But what, in your opinion, did the Bears do that caused the Lions so much grief?
I think that they you look at the pressure they put on Goff, and then the actual secondary play of the Bears, where there was not a lot of there were not a lot of good passing lanes yesterday. So, there wasn't a lot of clear things going on. So they kind of figured out some things to adjust, and this Ben Johnson didn't do the readjust. I think the Ben Johnson got away from the running game a little too quickly. Pound and rock with those guys, man. And see, if you just start passing the ball, you get out of your element. Especially at home, there should have been I would say probably a 60-40 split on the run and pass. And it ended up being about a 50-50. So you were doing a good job in the first half establishing the run and using play action. But when you went away from the run in the second half and you're not doing that. Now, I will say this. The Bears had the ball a lot in the second half. Excuse me. They had the ball a lot. So it's hard to establish a rhythm. It is what it is.
It's almost like both halves flipped, because the first half we owned the ball. Second half they owned the ball.
Yeah. And tell you, I love all you guys, man. We're gonna have a different opinion because I don't agree with everyone, and that's why we do our show. We're always gonna have a different opinion. I still don't love you guys because I love all my people. We're all Lions fans. It just is what it is. You guys are gonna have your opinion. I'm gonna have mine. Right. This is what it is. And like I said, you go over to my show, you watch my show today, because we have a recorded show. I'm not live today. And I called J-Mo out. He was my ball on player of the game because he did something stupid. What
do you think about Skipper? Because at least there's only one play.
Skip surprised me. Skip is holding his own at left tackle in relief. He did it in the Houston game, and he did it yesterday. And I will say Skip is okay with me. He did a lot better than I thought he would do, and they trust him, and that's the big thing, So it is what it is.
Yeah, I can only think of one play yesterday where he got blown up, and it wasn't, I shouldn't say blown up, but where he got beat. But one play, that's going to happen to the best tackles. It can happen to anybody in the NFL where one play you just got your footwork isn't right, your hand placement isn't right. Sometimes the other guy just is better on that play. But I think, going into the game yesterday, I'm guessing most Lions fans, Dew Crew, whoever, probably had a level of concern with Skipper being out there versus Decker. But he did seem like he went out there and performed pretty well. Yeah. Assuming that Decker can come back, obviously Decker's going to be the left tackle. But if he isn't, how confident are you that Dan Skipper can replicate this performance?
I mean, he's holding it down. I mean, I would say this. I'll be the first to admit I was wrong on Skip playing left tackle. I did not want Skip playing left tackle. I wanted Penei Sewell to go to left tackle and move Skip to right tackle. But he's been holding his own. I'll say this. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the first to admit with Skip, I was wrong on this one. He's been holding his own, and it's surprising me that Skip has been out there performing like that at tackle. Just because of the fact that left tackle is such a integral part of protecting your quarterback's blind side, and you have a guy who really has no history of playing left tackle, in the league, and it's going to be something. Now next week they got some good pass rushers over there. What do you call that?
Green Bay.
Green Bay. So Chicago, no, Green Bay have a better pass rush than Chicago does. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Chicago's pass rush, to be honest with you, I haven't been impressed with their pass rush this year. When they got the golf one time yesterday for 9 yards, and that pretty much was a give up sack where he was like,
right.
You know what? I'll just take the loss. I don't want to throw the ball, interception. I want to turn the ball over. So yeah. I'm having fun with the Duke crew today. They're giving me hell. I'm gonna give them hell right back today, man. But it is what it is, man. But I love the Duke crew, man. And don't ever think that I want your beliefs to be my beliefs.
Right,
Duke crew. Yeah. Don't ever think that I want you to think like I think, because I don't. Because I'm just one who thinks a little differently, and I'm a person who shows empathy and grace to people. So,
hey, just be yourself, man. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all anybody should ever ask of you, because they want you to be somebody else, and they want you to be you, and that's not a good way to be.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the defense real quick. Terrion Arnold, very criticized, I guess you could say, by people early in the season. But what has he done?
That kid is playing. That kid is playing. Had some solid plays yesterday. Had some things kind of go wrong in the season. Like he had a couple plays yesterday that was like, yeah. So you look at the situation, and I'm like, we had that one DJ Moore slant that kind of just bounced off DJ Moore's chest, and I was like, "Ooh, gotta go away with that one," because that could have been 6. But he's been holding his own. So, yeah, you kind of just look at him, man. He's grown so much. He stays in phase. He hasn't had the penalties that he was having earlier in the year. I like what Arnold's doing. He's kind of becoming that player that we thought he would be. In the draft, he's becoming that later in the season.
Well, when I watch him play, I mean, sort of like you're saying that he's elevating, he's getting better. When I think about him, along with these young secondary, as far as the safeties, and then Davis, they might end up just being one of the best secondaries in the league. And would also why maybe the impact of the loss of guys at the defensive end or linebacker are becoming lessened, because they are staying sticky in coverage for a while, forcing people to hold on to that ball just that extra half second or so. The easy reads aren't there for quarterbacks. And Caleb Williams, while I thought he played pretty well in the second half, he still overthrew some people in the second half. The first half, he did not play well. How much of a credit is that just what you're seeing out of quarterbacks on a week-to-week basis, whether it's Anthony Richardson, Williams, or whoever? Is it the Lions secondary?
Yeah, it's some of that's the Lions secondary. You have to credit the safeties and and you have to credit the secondary and the cornerbacks. You look at how they're playing, sticky coverage, and you never know what you're going to get on that back end. How those guys disguise with Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. You don't want to put the ball in a position where it's going to get picked. So you look at this secondary, man. And they're kind of meshing that secondary and the defensive line. Mary is pretty great. So you look at it, and I'm liking what I'm seeing from Aaron Glenn's defense. Now, yesterday they did something that haven't done all season. They give up multiple touchdown passes, 3 touchdown passes. But you look at it, we're looking at what's going on with those with the secondary, man, and all the injuries. But the guys that got beat yesterday were the kind of the guys you think that were going to be better in coverage.
Right.
Meek Robinson was the one who gave up the 2 touchdowns to Keenan Allen, and then Brian Branch, who's excellent in coverage, gave the shot up down the field to DJ Moore. So the backups actually played well. So it's one of those things where it's like, hey, you look at it, and I think that the Lions are going to be okay. It may not be a thing where it's what do you call that? If they can just kind of let's settle down for a game or two to get some guys back, I think we'll be all right.
I'll go with that. So now that the Lions have won, they've got a week to get ready for Green Bay. You watch Green Bay, whether you watch them last night or whatever, what do you think they're going to have to do to pull off a second win against the Packers, and this time in Ford Field?
They're going to have to be just as physical or as more physical than they were the last time. You know, Green Bay, they won that game last night because it wasn't the cold. They just out physical the Dolphins last night. But Detroit plays a physical style of football too. Is it something where I'm thinking to say we might lose next week? I don't know if we're going to lose next week or not. Is it one of those things? What do you call that? Where they can't recover. I think the Lions have a team, and they're smart enough to win next week. It's just going to be tough. Anytime you play a divisional opponent, it's going to be tough anyway. I mean, people talk about how bad the Bears are right now, but you look at the last 3 games that they played against the NFC North. Block field goal to lose the game, overtime, and then the clock management yesterday against the Lions. So, yeah.
Do you think Eberflus is out in Chicago?
Talking to some of my Chicago Bears friends, they want him to be out.
Yeah.
I don't. I think he might. I think they may. You know, I don't know if Chicago is that franchise that fires people in the middle of the season, but he may last to the end of the season, and that may be it.
Could be. Yeah, 100% with that.
Yeah.
All right. So one last thing. If you're Dan Campbell and you're trying to get this team ready for next week, and then obviously we're in the home stretch for the regular season, what's 1 or 2 things you feel like the team has to address going into the home stretch?
Getting healthy is the first thing.
Right.
Just resting guys and making sure to take care of their bodies. But I would have to say keeping their intensity up. I just think that sometimes, you can get that. I don't want them to get complacent. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Don't get complacent and make sure you take care of your body. And I think that if you do that, I think everything else will be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Why don't you go ahead and give yourself a shout out to everybody where they can find you and your awesome work, and tell them all about the Boss Up Ball Out podcast.
Hey, you can check out the Boss Up Ball Out podcast over my YouTube channel, man. Today, we usually go live on Fridays, but today we did a recorded show because we want to do our recap and reaction show to the game yesterday. So you'll see myself, LL, and Coach Mike over there, man, giving a good breakdown of what we saw yesterday and how we reacted. And, we named our Boss Up, Ball Out, Balled On players of the game. And we just have a good take, you know what I'm saying? And we have some good debate today about what happened in the game yesterday. So, come and tune in and check it out.
All right. He is the host of the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. He is Kurt the Hitman Steele, the man of steel himself. Go check him out. Give him a like and subscribe. And Kurt, as always, thank you for joining the show.
Hey, hit the like button here. Subscribe, man. Love Lions Talk Live, man. I love the Duke Crew, man. I know we're just talking, man, and it is what it is. I still love you guys, man. Coming over and check me out over at the Boss Up Ball Out podcast today.
We will do that. All right, man. Go have a good day.
Take it easy, man.
See you, Kurt. All right, Duke Crew, let's get back over to you guys. Phil, Driving to Grand Rapids and back today. Yikes. Hey, well, be safe, my friend. Ryan, I'll guarantee you one thing. Brad Holmes is on top of it. We'll have players. Yes, I'm sure they're going through it, trying to get some guys, seeing who they can find. Rob, injuries are the reason we almost lost. Mistakes we made, but a win is a win. Just be glad we did. Yeah, no, one thing I saw a couple of you guys point out in regards to the film, they didn't show it on TV initially, but when Jameson Williams goes to that sideline, you can see where the guy just kind of puts his foot out to try to trip him a little bit. And I think that's where Jameson Williams got caught in the moment and kind of responded to it. Whether or not there was more to it, I don't know. But the NFL will see that. The player will get fined without a doubt about it. But we also need to understand, most of us, somebody does that to us. In the heat of the moment, it does happen in regards to Jameson Williams flipping the ball at him. Let's see, Trump's a genius. We can only afford McDonald's. Okay, hey, I used to love McDonald's. Jen doesn't let me eat it anymore, though. Don, Maddie, it was the 3 TDs we gave, almost lost it, huh? Yeah, the 3 TDs did hurt us. And a couple different things come into play. Keenan Allen is still pretty decent in certain areas of the game. In fact, better than decent. He's pretty good. Then I don't remember who took a branch deep, but you could see they gave him an inside move. Branch bit on it and then went outside and wide and just went right around him, and Branch got caught flat-footed in that moment. Motown Mitch, Cook Gabe, no one is saying the trip was a good thing. Like I said before, we still got to keep your cool. Yeah, you got to keep your cool, but I mean, they did probably, they would have done us a solid if CBS would have shown the entire play, what caused it. It would have gave a little bit more texture to the moment. King SJ, good morning. Happy Victory Friday. I cannot get over the ending, to say the least. Hey, at least we're all talking about an ending that, one, is a Lions win, and two, how the Bears, man, I don't know what they were thinking there. I'm sitting here watching it. I'm like, call timeout. Why are they calling a timeout? And I want them to lose, but I just was trying to grasp what in the heck. The quarterback, the head coach, and the OC, none of them thought with 33 seconds left, we should call a timeout. And there's no sense of urgency from that offense to get to the line. That's where, adults need to step in here and say, hey, we need to fix that. But good for them, man. I hope they keep doing that against us. All balls, no D. As far as I'm concerned, Mosley has been a bust. Hard to disagree. I don't know what happened pre-game, but something happened, obviously, and just apparently right before the cutoff for the actives inactives. So all I can tell you guys is that something happened, and Dan Campbell, that's all he offered up on it. Don, what do you got? Phil, is it snow in Grand Rapids? It seems like Southwest Michigan is covered in snow right now. All balls waste a lot of time, money, and absolutely zero production. Well, hopefully he can turn things around. Phil, Lions may have to waive Mosley if he cannot play. We need space for backups. Agreed with that. Agreed. We'll see what they do. See, Max 77, refs didn't want the Lions to cover. Maybe not. Maybe not. All balls, my point exactly, Phil. Motown Mitch, wish I had known we were handing out cakes to JMO for dumb decisions. I would have bought one at Ford Field yesterday. Okay. X8, Mosley is a backup. He is indeed. Dr. Detroit, Don B, baby, 11-1. What the heck? I'll go with that. Michael, good morning, all. Go Lions. Back at you, Michael. Hopefully it's a phenomenal day. Sarge, so can you guys stop getting injured? Let's hope they can. Max 77, we can't win Super Bowl with these injuries. Well, we're going to have to find a way to super glue and duct tape people. I'm a big proponent. Give everybody on the team Mountain Dew from Circle K. That will heal them up right away. All balls, Mosley was at cornerback number 1 in San Fran. He was indeed. Dr. D, man, all right. Let's see. The Flathead and Eagles loss this weekend will give us some breathing room. Fingers crossed. Yeah, if they can lose and the Minnesota can lose, that would help out a lot. Detroit, JMO is annoying me. It happens, man. Pierce, JMO is also getting on my nerves. All right. Trump's, the bookies can kiss the Lions' butts. They probably can do just that. Pierce should also be calling Aaron Darnold. Man, I wonder if the Rams still hold his rights, though. Even if he comes out of retirement, he might still be contractually obligated to the Rams. Max, yes, on JMO, said Max 77. Don Burt, Dr. D, no, they said back off JMO, and we are just fans, so it doesn't matter what do we think. Okay. Dr. Detroit, yeah, F them, okay. Motown Mitch, doesn't matter. Don, guess I can ask for a refund for my tickets yesterday if it doesn't matter, right? Fair enough. Max 77 players. Dr. Detroit, he isn't in big trouble, but he is flirting with it. Okay. Tay Wade Profits, what do You are just a fan and have no impact on that man's life. All right. Derek J.J. Watt would look great doing a 1-800 Sam's commercial. Oh, I'll get him out there. Pierce, who else thinks we should call Aaron Donald? Yeah, I'm all for it. Pierce, I just can't tell you if he has got any kind of contractual obligation to the Rams or not. Dr. Detroit, yes, I want my refund, $12K, please. All right. Dr. Don Burr, Kurt about to say leave J-Mo alone. All right. Dr. Detroit, laughing out loud. Max 77, wrong. Derek, that was the worst halftime show I've ever seen. All right. Wade Tay, B. Martin will play next game. I'm hoping so too, and that's probably a good point, Wade Profits. You're probably right there, and maybe they have to play him at end, and I'm okay with it. I think the kid's got the athleticism to do just that. All balls call Donald for what Vikings are frauds. Okay. I think they meant Aaron Donald. I could be wrong with that. Motown Mitch, maybe instead of going to the Packers game, maybe I should just sell my tickets to a Packers fan. Okay. Maybe. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Good morning, Kurt. Last man standing. Wow. I'll go with that, Bo. And hey, good morning to you too. Let's see. Dr. Troy. Oh boy, Kurt, I can ride with you on this. The kid almost cost us. Get your, let's see. I can't ride with you on this. Excuse me. Get your payback when the refs aren't looking. I can't excuse this. All right. Flathead, Dan Campbell doesn't care how many injuries we have. He expects the same performance from the next man up. You're not wrong with that. Kudos to him and the team for having that kind of mantra. Max 77, good don't replace bad. All right. Bill, Mekhi Wingo sustained a knee injury during win against the Bears. Levi Onwuzurike, hamstring, Pascal knee, Malcolm Rodriguez knee, Emmanuel Mosley, question mark, hurt in warmups. Just Thursday's injuries. Correct. And Mekhi Wingo, the good thing is he did come back in the second half, but they put a brace on him. So I'm assuming it's not too bad. All balls, we're not just talking about what he does after the games. We need him to play well and make decisions. Set benefit to team in the game. Correct with that. Correct. Dr. Troy, this is our quote culture. Don Burr, giving out turkeys. Man, we care about him doing his job, question mark. We all came from the hood, Kurt, Mac, and Brewick. I conduct myself accordingly. Okay. Pierce, Don, how do you feel about Aaron Donald or Watt right now? I'd say get them both if you can. Tayway Prophet, Don UA. Okay. Let's see. Patrick, MCDC said that the incident with J-Mo was already taken care of, and he apologized to the team without being told to. All right. Good for him. Stepping on up. Well, it seems I missed an interesting discussion. J-Mo, right? It appears so. Derek Lewis, what do you got? Exactly, Don. Does he get a free penalty for every turkey? We'll find out. Dr. Detroit, yeah. Alter and Mac, what kind of excuse is this? All right. Don Burr, 3 years in the league. Time for J-Mo to grow up. All right. Don UA. All right. Tayway Profits. Shaft, J-Mo needs to a father figure. Clearly, he hides. Why have one he doesn't have a good one? Okay. Dr. Detroit, J-Mo needs to grow up. All right. Tayway, Don Burr, you're a dork. All right, dork it is. All right. All balls, 3 years and had time. Does Laporta do that stuff? Does Jack act like J-Mo? They don't. Kids immature, needs to grow up. All right. Kim, agree 100% with Kurt Steele regarding J-Mo. Let's see. Motown Mitch, Kurt, you're the one that got on me for saying they should sit him and give him an earful. Run it out of him. All right, fair enough. JDC, human age, one day at a time, thankfully, and hopefully there's always another. Kurt, yes, smiling thumbs up. Man, we are on a warpath this morning. All right, Shaft, if J-Mo was white, okay, yep, Kurt, Don would be different. All right, let me go through, since we only got about 2 minutes left, let's go through the comment section. Let me try to get some people who haven't been on as much. All right, let's see, J-Mo will be fine. Get off his back, fair enough. Miles Marker, you got that right, Kurt. All right, Bo, during the chat yesterday, a couple of quote fans crying all game almost drove me crazy. We won. We did win indeed. Bingo Don, the narrative is a 90s narrative. All right, Motown Mitch, we grew up in Motown. Hearing shooting everywhere at night doesn't mean we went out and threw a ball at the cop's face when they shot. Okay. Ted, the thing is we have to do better than that in the situation where we have to realize the game is on the line. We have to be better than the team we are playing and the officials and ourselves. I agree with that. Yep, you got to learn from it, 100%. Almost, Grace, you're kidding me. He has chances after chance pretty soon. Chances in the NFL run out. There's probably a lot of truth to that. Michael, good thing we got a practice squad that knows their playbook. This is true. We got a veteran squad out there. Good call on that. Phil, our defense was gassed. Why was Mini being talked to? That I don't know. Monty, yeah, somebody will have to help me out there. That I don't know. Sun Sweek, bro, what the heck happened with the stream? I just got here. That I don't know. It is moving and shaking, though. We'll put it that way. Dean Martin, pretty sad when all the media wants to do is crap all over the winning season. Tired of them bashing, especially the JMO. Let it go already. They need to weak to bad reporters out. Yes, get rid of the bad reporters. I'm down with that. It's the Motown, excuse me, Patrick, Max 77. Are you kidding me? When was the last time you hung around at college? It's been a minute for me. Let's see. Cook Gable, we got Motown Mitch, at least offsetting penalties. What 29 did is more egregious. Okay. Looking for some other people that haven't been on as much. Cook, we are 29 as soon as running shows up at the Lions practice. Okay. Let's see. Mega Hustle. Coach, CBS NFL broadcasters kept trying to zoom in on both Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson calling plays. They both were smart enough to use their playbook menus to cover up their mouths. Yeah, I agree with that. They're trying to get something. Let's see. Phil, can't afford to sit anyone. I would be extreme too if some jerk tripped me from the sideline. Whether right or not, no player is going to take that. No, and the NFL will probably step them and fine them. Let's see. Dr. Detroit, is practice being held at William Beaumont Royal Oak today? That I don't know. Courtney Matthew Betts, CFL, maybe that's a thought there. Available, ? Or go visit J.J. Watt in person like a recruiting visit. Could be what they do. Mega Hustle. Also, CBS broadcasters keep trying to intentionally make Jake Bates miss field goals. They do seem to try to put the hex on him. Michael said it yesterday, Lions missing half their team and still found a way to win versus the Bears. Great call on that, my friend. Don, everybody, let's sit Ben Johnson. Okay. Exit 8. Sometimes taking that rat out of the hood doesn't get the out of the rat. Yes. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Let's see. Pierce, Don, would you be good if we got JPP? We'll see if we do. Some other people haven't been on as much. Tay, Don want JMO to be like everybody else. Fair enough. Let's see. Ryan, if you're going to have a voice, expect criticism. Freedom of speech can come with a cost, so does maturity. All right, fair enough. Max 77 should have let the Pascal go when no contract. We'll see what they do in the offseason. Scott, maybe we play an extra safety because lack of linebackers. As far as JMO goes, he is costing himself a lot of money in the next contract. That's probably also true. He's gonna have to grow from it for sure. Ken, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Two things. One, I'm impossible to play perfect games for 18 weeks. Yes, it's impossible to do that. Correct. Two, Mr. Steele is 100% correct regarding JMO. Rant over. Have a super fantastic week. Go Lions. Woo! We'll see you on the next one, my friend. 100%. Frank JMO has 7 targets in the passing game and 2 rushes for 18 yards. He is becoming more involved in the offense. That is also true. Very true. Very true. Trim Reaper, no offense to Steele or my boy JMO, but nobody cares where and what I came from, and don't make millions to play a game. Take your out of your what I mean. Yeah, I got you. It does, says Dr. Detroit. Man, we are on one today. JDC, gamesmanship, respect the thing. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Let's see. Ted, love JMO, but he needs to grow up. I don't care where he comes from, nor he's there anymore. Act like a man and don't mess your team over. Dr. Detroit, go to Woodward. It's all excuses JMO week. All right, fair enough. I'll check it out. No way he has a job. All right, yeah, as far as Eberflus, I think he's in trouble. Tayway, Multi-Mitch, don't care. You one person, bro. You don't be in your feelings too much. Estrogen in your okay. We got something happening here. Bo, didn't we win? We did win, my friend. We did. Patrick, Lions won't lose the rest of the year, and we won't lose another game at home for sure. Let's hope not, my friend. I like the way you're thinking. All right, see, Max 77. Need to figure out how to move the ball against a second half Bears defense. Yes, you're going to have to figure that out. Otherwise, people will repeat it. Farrad, what do you got? I knew letting Houston go was a big mistake. I wasn't a fan of it either, man. 100%. I thought he was really starting to play well. Me too, man. I thought he was. And I obviously don't understand why they booted him. Obviously, we wish we had him now. I agreed with that 1,000,000%. JDC, Don Bird, true that. Kurt, thank you, Kurt. Let's see. Miles Barker, thank you, Kurt. Dayway, of course, This is opinions, but it still doesn't matter. All right. Benjamin Brewer, Mosley, 2 snaps on defense in 2 years. Enough said. Take a hike. And he might have to. Let's see, Derek. You gotta give J-Mo his flowers for accuracy, though. He was spot on with it. I'll give you that. Don Tay, well said. Well, stop posting. Okay. Farrad, J-Mo starting to get on my nerves with this BS. Okay. JDC, in a way, the J-Mo thing is like politics. Let's move on. All right, I get it. All right, guys, it is about that time. I got about 1 or 2 more, and then I'm out of here. Flathead Mosley might win the game for us next against the Packers. All hands on deck. Woo! I'll go with that. Dr. Trey Broski made money on Lions. Maybe he did. I have no idea. Jose, I think the James Houston can affect the team. Yep. Or maybe he does. I hope he. I wish him well. I wish we still had him. Bo, Antoine Randall L was lighting J-Mo up after the penalty. Yes, he was. Dr. Troy, Kurt grew up in Flint and has sympathy for kids like this. Okay. Farrad, false start was way different from an emotional, boneheaded move from somebody who should be walking on eggshells anyways. All right. Let's see. Dino, I can't believe nobody in your family has spoken to you about the lip smacking when you talk. It's unbearable. Please correct it. Hey, that's how I talk, man. If I can't change it, man, I'm not going to change it. If it, I'm sorry, man. That your show is great. Yeah, I do what I can. It's just the one thing I would say is I'm on the mic for an hour. I have very little time to stop and, drink a water or anything like that. I'm not like most other hosts where they have a more interaction or maybe have 2 or 3 people. I do what I can. And sorry, man. Sorry. And you exiting out? Maybe. Motown, now you're making stuff up. Okay. JDC, it worked. All right. Let's see. Dr. Drake St. Brown isn't a problem, and he hasn't cost us games. All right. Let's see. Happy Trails, go Lions victory. Miles Marker, 11-1. Dr. Drake, or put us in jeopardy of losing games. Okay. Bo Booth, Happy Trails, do crew. See you tomorrow. All balls, no D. I'm done venting accountability. Southwest, who cares? We won. The NFL is tough. It is indeed. All right, guys, I'm going to probably wrap it up there. Oh, yeah, Marcus down. What's bad news? What happened? Just all the injuries piling up, my friend. All the injuries piling up. The injuries to the injuries. JDC Elvis has left the building. Go Lions, fair enough. Motown Mitch, Taylor Way sounds like a guy who never had it. Okay, all right. We're on something today. Teddy, we won pride. Go Lions. Yes, we did win. We found a way to win. Let's see. My family and I enjoyed the J-Mo ball flip. The Bears player tried to injure J-Mo. Some bad offensive play calling, throwing the bad ball where the Bears couldn't stop the run. Fair enough. Lip smacker. I am probably a little bit. I'll try to work on it, but I just can't promise it. Let's see, Motown Mitch. What up, Doctor? How you been? Wade, bro. Been a while. Dr. Troy, happy, great Thanksgiving. Hopefully y'all had a good one. Southwest, if you don't like how Coach talks, don't come here. I do what I can. I just can't promise I'm going to make everybody happy. Oh, yeah. All right. I'll go with that. Let's see. Dayway, Dr. Detroit. Dr. Detroit, go Lions. All right. Walt, good morning, Coach Duke Crew. Woo! I am good morning to you, too. Trim Reaper, nothing wrong with Coach Talks. All right. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. Let's see. Derek, I'll be back tomorrow for more lip smacking. Hey, well, I'll work on it, guys. I'll work on it. Now you got me thinking about it at least. All right. So anyways, guys, I'll go ahead and get on out of here. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. I think we're like 12 or 13, 15 subs, something like that, away from hitting 11,100. So if you can help out that, would be great. While you're checking out, there's over 500. Actually, I'd take that back, from all platforms, almost 1,000 people watching. If you would be so kind, hit the thumbs up button if you would be. Other than that, take care. Have a great day. Do something kind for someone you don't know. And we'll see you guys all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, all. You're still here? What are you doing here? It's over. The show's over. Go home.